We're alive.
We are live. Welcome, everybody to the chat.
G'day. Well, today's a bit new, a bit different. Twitch is
Yeah.
down. It's only flipping
Twitch is down. Amazon Web Services is down. We are live. Welcome, everybody to the chat.
G'day. Well, today's a bit new, a bit different. Twitch is
Yeah.
down.
Twitch is down. Amazon Web Services is down. We are live. Welcome, everybody to the chat.
G'day. Well, 1 second, mate. I think we can hear ourselves.
Yeah. Twitch is down. Amazon Web Services is down. We are live. Welcome, everybody to the chat.
G'day. Well,
There was some technical difficulties. Yeah. Twitch is down.
Got a bit
Amazon Web Services is down. We are live.
ETA and
Welcome, everybody to the chat.
Facebook as well.
There was some technical difficulties. Yeah. Twitch.
There we go. That's what was causing our drama. Was our Facebook.
Oh, were you listening to it? You had the sound.
I had it on, but the thing was, I went live and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can see the chat and everything like that. But no, yeah.
You forgot to mute the sound.
yeah, I did. I'm an idiot. So anyway, I'm hoping we can see chats here. Oh, yeah, I can see your chat, Will.
Yeah, I got chat up as well on the. I can't see where it's gone live on YouTube though.
Okay. Please ensure your keyframe rate of 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are not sending often enough, which can cause buffering. The keyframe is 8.3 seconds. Note the ingestion errors. I have no idea what that means.
We'll leave that for another day.
Okay, so open widget, error. Okay, stream settings. Open widget, yeah. Stream health, error suggestion. The audio, the current bitrate recommended stream itself the 830p. Okay, yeah. No, it looks like it's happy now.
Beautiful. Good to hear.
It was happy, and then it wasn't, and then it anyway. It seems to be happy. Can you see us on YouTube?
I cannot see us on YouTube. I'm on the Flippin' Spuds YouTube page. I'm clicking refresh, but I don't see where it's gone live. If I go to videos, nope, not there either.
Oh,
I clicked it.
That's why I am stupid. Visibility public.
Ooh.
Damn. That might help.
There we are. All Tekt Out, episode 20. Oh, better mute that so I don't hear myself again.
Welcome, everyone. Sorry, we are having some technical difficulties. I am driving at as well. Because, as some of you may or may not know, Twitch is down. Actually, a lot of websites are down, aren't they?
Well, I'm thinking it's Amazon Web Services that are down. If Amazon, Reddit, and that, I think they're all ran on Amazon Web Services. Oh. So I'm guessing one of their servers is down.
Ooh, Mr. Bezos is not going to be happy.
No. Waking up at the early hours of the morning. What are they? 16. Well, that's presuming he's in New York. They're 16 hours behind us. So what's 8 hours ahead? So that's 4 o'clock in the morning for them.
Yeah, something like that.
So if it's LA or anything, it's even earlier.
Exactly. Well, we have got a cracking show for you all today.
We do.
We have a bit on. We're going to talk about all sorts of different things as listed out. And we might as well get up and running with 3080 Ti's.
Yes.
Blink and you missed them.
They're all sold out already, or they're gone?
Yep, most of them are. I think if you can find some around there, the $3,200 plus ones.
Wow.
They started at around 2.7. Scorptech or PLE? I think Scorptech did offer some at MSRP. which was 19, still just shy of $2,000, which was
That's a lot better than 3200, isn't
well,
it?
yeah. I'm wondering if they were founders editions, but they didn't say too much. But
I didn't know they actually sold founders editions. I thought they were.
I'm not sure if they're founders or what cards they were exactly.
I always presumed the founders editions were like giveaways to like YouTube texts and like to like Gigabyte and all them, so they could sort of see how it is and build their stuff around it.
No. I mean, last time with 3080 launches, 3060, 3070, and 3080 launches, they did sell some founders editions through M-Wave, I think in Sydney.
Yep.
I don't know how Nvidia decided to go with that store, but yeah, and it was very much a lottery system, and they just like very few people got them, and I think they like had a handful of cards, not even like I think not even double digits to be quite honest.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure someone sent it. It was either Scorptech and PLE because those are the two that were talking to their customers, and I know one of them meant I'm pretty sure it was Scorptech said they only had like 15 cards. And they were
Oh
very
wow.
honest about it and said, look, we're not taking pre-orders. We're not doing that again. We don't know when people are going to get them. No. And same PLE said something very similar, but they didn't talk about their numbers. But interestingly, Scorptech copped a lot of flack because basically they just said, here's a competition. Like he almost ran it like a competition, and then said, and then we're going to randomly select someone. I think they were effectively trying to rule out bots and potentially even scalpers, going, oh, maybe scalpers won't go to the effort of, like you have to say, what machine you had, why you needed a graphics card, what you would do with it, sort of thing. So 10 out of 10, they really, really tried their best to do the right thing by their customers.
Yeah.
Like same with PLE, but interesting, a lot of commentary, and I think a lot of trolls, to be honest, because I don't think these were genuinely people who'd were still waiting on cards, but there was some commentary, a lot of people just commenting, going, hey, how about you maybe deliver my card that I ordered at
6 months ago.
launch and I haven't got yet. But I think PLE said they were going to offer the option to people to swap cards to a 3080 Ti. Man, some of those people, if they're still waiting for cards with that original price, they're kidding themselves. They're
Yeah.
never going to get them. They are really never going to get them. Like if people hadn't got them in the last 3 months, those back orders that are there are never going to get fulfilled.
Because they can't even buy the cards for that much anymore.
No, they just can't, and they won't on it. They'll just say, "Here's your money." Really sorry, but and the thing was, PLE didn't take money. They I think they took $1 deposit just to confirm your account was legit.
Yep.
And just sent like that little, but that was it. But you could cancel at any time, and that's where I was stupid and I cancelled my 3080 for the Win Ultra EVGA card, which was actually not far off from being delivered.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fairly high up the
The list.
up the list, and I was just like, but then I look at it and I'm like, there's some people who are saying that like they ordered that card on the day of launch and haven't got it yet. So I don't know, man. I think, to be honest, people are getting on there, and you got some keyboard warriors who really having a crack, going, oh, these guys are rip-offs, and I'm like, mate, stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Just take a look at what's happening. This is not unique. Like, our Australian retailers are probably in a worse position than a lot of the like US and European retailers are, even because we're such a much smaller market. Even though we probably have a good percentage of gamers, and let's be honest as well, Nvidia and AMD are not in the business of not wanting to sell stuff. They aren't. But people whinge about the prices, but then 3080 Ti's, and you know what's really frustrating? Go on Marketplace, you can already see them. People
Yep.
are already scalping them. And the thing is, it's interesting. You're seeing them not going anywhere. So I don't know. I reckon a lot of scalpers might have. I think a few scalpers might have got through, but I think most of them would have been genuinely people who are just like without it. They haven't got a graphics card. They've got nothing to game on, and therefore, but yeah, they're insanely poor value. I mean, they're another 2080 Ti. 2080 to 2080 Ti was like 10% performance. I think was the same thing. 10% performance, 10 to 15 performance bump, but you are paying like ridiculous money for 2080 Ti's.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing them used at the moment for almost the money I sold mine for. What, 8 months ago? No, it'd be about 12 months. It'd be about 12 months now. It's about what I sold them 12 months ago, my one. And I'm so shocked that they've gone back up to that price. And it's not like they're not selling either. And the thing is, from what I'm hearing, is in Australia, people are actually starting to pull back. But overseas, they reckon there's still. I don't know, Eggy. I remember you when you put your 1660 Super. We had an interesting people
Debate about it.
debate about it, and but you were saying there was some miners who actually on the side approached you and said, "Hey,
Yeah.
if you're serious, look, this
Yeah.
is the max I'd pay." But
Around 450 to 500. It could be even more now because the prices they're even like up to 650 to 700 now for the 1660 Super. But I don't know if miners are going to buy it anymore because like the talks are that Ethereum it's getting less mineable now. Like I'm still mining it. And I'm getting half of what I was getting a month ago, and so I'm probably making like $2 a day off it, if that, maybe a slightly bit more.
with your 1660 Super, yeah.
With the 1660 Super, so I think like for them to buy it at 500, it's just going to take too many days for them to actually make the money back on buying it.
Okay, so it might be interesting to see how we go. Okay, well, because the thing is, it's not the theory. So I wonder why the profitability's gone. Do you look? You know what? We'll talk about that. I think as part of our topics, it is crypto. We do talk about crypto at the end.
Yeah, all right, we'll touch on that then.
We'll touch on that because I do want to ask you some stuff about your thoughts about crypto and why. Pricing still seems to be pretty good, but mining seems to be really falling off a cliff all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So that's about it with 30 Ti's. 80 Ti's, they got a real Nvidia got a real pasting. I listened to a really interesting. Well, I wouldn't say discussion, but a sort of a monologue by Linus Sebastian from Linus Tech Tips, who didn't defend, like kind of defended Nvidia here and said, look, everyone's complaining about the price. Everyone's saying it's poor value. No one disagrees with that. But if you're looking at this card and saying it's poor value and you want to get the maximum frames per dollar, this isn't your card.
Yeah.
This isn't the card for you. This isn't what you're going to buy. Nvidia doesn't care about you. But when Nvidia knows it can charge this money and those cards will still walk out the door in amazing like just walk out the door, those stores will run out of stock, and we all know that those top end cards is where they make their massive margins. They don't make money out of 1660 Supers. Why do you think Nvidia and AMD haven't released those at lower end cards? They can't fulfill what they've got. Why?
No.
Because the idea is those lower end cards are usually rejects for a 3090, 3080, 3070, 3060, and then whatever silicon's left over from that, then they offer more budget stuff, saying, "Oh, this is as far as we can push this silicon."
Yeah.
It's not at that higher tier. It's not premium silicon. This is where it sits. I'm going to, and I remember, I think Moore's Law said it. Tom from Moore's Law said it. I don't think they're having the fault rates they used to either. I think they're not wasting the silicon. I think the silicon they've got is all like the yields from that silicon is really, really high, and therefore they're like, I could like they could do what AMD did with the 3200G and the 3400G, which were basically faulty 3600s, but they weren't getting that many faults. So therefore, how long did they not like? At one point, like I think 3400G you still can't get easily. 3200 I think's gotten a bit easier because I think people have moved away from it because they've done the 5000 series.
Yeah.
3400Gs are still very, very difficult to get a hold. Like they're not around. They're not common. So and Linus talked about saying who this card was aimed at, and like disagreed with Steve from Gamers Nexus, saying this isn't like you guys can jump up and down and talk about the poor value and all that. And he said, now I know people are going to say, I'm a shill, I'm an Nvidia shill. He goes, let me tell you, he goes, I'm not even on talking terms with Nvidia. He goes, we actually send them an email. Apparently they send them an email saying to them, hey, well done on being transparent this time with this launch. Like, I think they got the cards out early, the drivers out early. Like, there was no bullshitting around,
Yeah.
so to speak. And Linus actually sent him around and said, oh, great job, guys. He goes, this is probably one of the smoothest launches you guys have done in a while. Nothing, crickets. Didn't even hear back from the PR people. Yeah, so if anyone thinks I'm in the good books with Nvidia, let me just tell you, I am not. And he goes, and I'm far from defending them. I've come out and I've swung at them like there's a reason why I'm not on talking terms with these people. But at the same time, I'm not just going to sit there and go, oh, these guys suck, they're doing the wrong thing. They're a company, mate. They're there to make... And I think Linus has that view because he runs a company, and I think he runs a company in the sense of he knows every one of his employees depend on him making money, so they pay their bills at the end of the month. Because if he doesn't have enough money to pay their wage, he's responsible. He's the CEO. And I think that's why he kind of gets where these larger corporations come from, because he's not small. It's not like Linus Media Group has 10 employees. It's from I think it was last time. I think it was like 40, 50 people he had working for him or something. Like
Yep.
Like he's got a lot of people working, and on top of that he does Float Plane, and then he tried the Gamers Verified program, and he does a lot for the community and tries to give back. And I thought it was a bit like, I saw a tweet from Steve going, nah, you're wrong. And he goes, and people talking about that. It was interesting. He also did a bit of a piece about the used GPUs and how new GPU prices don't necessarily correlate with used GPU prices.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting piece that I listened to on Saturday while I was being domestic and vacuuming, much to my wife's shock. But yeah, it was an interesting talk, just listening to him and just the passion he spoke about, and like really trying to sort of get people to try and be reasonable.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, dude, you just like, you know what? Good talk. It's going to get you a lot of hate for it. Yeah, and actually, there is a video I want to see. It's from, who was it? I can't remember. It was a YouTuber, that Old Time Gamer or someone, I think that's going to have a crack back at Linus to say, oh, you're out of touch.
Yeah.
Don't know about that. This is not a guy who goes out and buys Ferraris,
No.
like he barely got himself a used Tesla. And it's not because he hasn't got the money. It's because it's like, I don't see why I should. No, not doing it.
Waste money on driving it out of the lot.
Exactly.
Losing 30%.
Yep,
Buying it brand new.
Exactly right. I think that's it. And I mean, Tech Deals is, I think, very similar in that way. Why am I going to buy brand new? Just doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about 3080 Ti's, which is, yeah, as you were. go back to snoozing people. We'll hopefully have something by the end of the year or early
Hopefully,
next
or
year.
there'll be a new one out by then.
You know what? I don't think that's far from the truth, to be honest, Eggy. I
Just-
don't think it is. I think we'll probably end up getting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether Nvidia will want to move from 30. I think it will depend on what AMD and Intel do in the
Yeah.
next 12 months. Will dictate whether Nvidia then goes shit. We've got to keep going, or whether they'll go. Let's release some of this lower end stuff, and the 3080 can be out for a year or two because it's enough.
It's more than enough, really.
Oh, look, 3080 will be fine for the next couple of years. I'll talk about 3080 performance actually when we talk about. Wanted to touch on some Cyberpunk.
Oh, nice.
Facebook Marketplace. What to watch out for? Now, you and I spend a lot of time there, don't we?
We do. I've actually got the screen up open at the moment, seeing what bargains are out there.
Yeah, it is a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I do it regularly. Well, that GTX 970 for $150 would have been a steal if whoever picked that up yesterday.
Oh yeah.
The cheapest one I was. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been the first person just going, "Yep, I'm going to go. Yep, happy to buy it. I'll
Yeah.
pick it up today. Can
Oh.
you tell me?" They would have said, "Screw the COVID restrictions." Because
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, look, would you post it out?" Well, I asked her because I'm like, I'm not driving out there. Like she was
Yeah.
in Roeville. I'm like, she's not exactly like 10 minutes up the road.
No. But then you could stop in the Sculpt Tech, or we can't really stop in the PCK ski. You can't even do click and collect there, I don't think.
Nope.
No.
They're completely shut. They've completely shut their retail operation.
That's
PCK.
crazy. I don't know how they're making money.
Well, to be quite honest with you, it was. I went in there because I actually did go in there when they had their store.
Yep.
It was basically a like click and collect counter, mate.
Yep.
That's all it was. That literally what it was. Or, yeah, it was. I think PC Ski runs the risk of going from a premium PC store to going down the road of shopping express.
Yeah.
You know, where there's no store, you can't see it, you can't touch it. And I don't care what anyone says, especially like enthusiasts like us are happy to buy online because we know
Yeah.
what we're buying and we know the process if we want something RMA'd, all that sort of jazz. But if I'm Ma and Pa Kettle who's looking to buy my grandson a computer, I want to go into the store and have a look.
Yeah.
And even if someone says, hey, actually, it was interesting. A couple of weeks ago, I was in JB Hi-Fi before lockdown. And some guy was looking at a monitor, and he's like, "Oh, you know, I'm like watching him." And I'm like, and he's like umming and ahhing. And I'm like, I said, "Oh, sorry, mate. I said I couldn't notice you're looking at monitors." I said, "What are you using it for?" And he goes, "Oh, my PS5." I said, "All right. So if you're in here, if you're looking for a TV, cool. Don't look at monitors in here. Go up the road, Centrecom." Seaford, mate. I said on Hartnett Drive, you'll find a monitor that'll be
3 times is better.
3 times as good as this for the same price. And he was like, "Oh, thanks, mate." And off you went. Luckily, someone from JB didn't hear me, but it's true. Like, if you're going to buy a monitor, mate, don't go to JB Hi-Fi or
No.
Harvey Norman or whatever. Look, on odd occasions, don't get me wrong, Harvey Norman have done some crazy good deals. Like my 19 keyboard, I still remember I got it for $149, and the cheapest I've seen it is $169. Oh no, Harvey Norman had a $149. I went into Centrecom and I showed them, and I said, "Mate, otherwise," I said, "I'm leaving here. I'm just going to go to Frankston and pick one up." And the guy goes, "I'll price match it." He goes, "I don't know how they're doing it at $149. He goes, "Because that's below my cost," but he goes, "We've got a price match promise." And they price matched it, but it was $149 for and the cheapest I've seen is, I think Centrecom's got them on special at the moment for $169.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with Marketplace, lots of GPUs, like you said, out there.
Yes.
Seeing a lot of 3070s, 3080s,
Yeah.
2080s, 1080 Ti's.
I think everyone's trying to get out before the crypto buzz or the crypto mining ends.
Crypto Buster. I love it. It's my favourite tag at the moment. Crypto Buster. Yep. Yeah, I think. So you think that it's pretty much now everyone's just scrambling to get out?
Yeah, I think because Ethereum's the most profitable mined coin, and that's moving to proof of stake, where it's like not mineable. It's you got to stake the coins, run a node, and stake the coins to be able to make coins off it. And they don't need the proof of work sort of style, which is the mining way, which is they need the miners to write the transactions on the blockchain.
So interesting. I actually saw. I was watching Son of Tech. He reckons that Ethereum 2.0 is that the
Yep.
same as? Is that what proof of stake is?
Yes, that's what it is. But they're trying to bring the proof of stake out earlier than they release Ethereum 2.0.
Oh, so that was interesting because he was saying, "Oh no, it looks like Ethereum. You'll be able to mine Ethereum for a little bit longer. They've put it off. Looks like it's not coming out now till next year."
Yeah, but they're trying to get it to proof of stake come October. That's what they're aiming for.
Wow, that explains why these cards are all starting to now hit the market.
Yeah, and I think that they've already started sort of some of the transition. That's why when people are mining, they're not getting as much at the moment. They're not
Oh,
mining
you
as
reckon so? Some of their transactions are already on that platform, and they're
yeah,
not just they haven't completely done 100% of them. Hence why the
yeah,
difficulties increase. So is that the difficulty basically is increased? Is what the problem
yes,
is?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So my advice to people is on marketplace. It's a great place to browse, but know what you're looking for. Because I know when I first started, I was always asking you, going, "Oh, what do you think? How much is this? Is this a good bargain?" And then I just learnt from you where to look and what to look for.
yeah,
And I listened to Brian who did his on Tech Yes City, who did a lot of his parts hustles and how he did it and watched it and like I mean he does it at the next level. I mean he does that as a living. Let's be honest. Like that 970 mate, he would have probably snapped it up.
yeah. It probably offered 180. There's 180. I can pick it up now.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give you $180. I'll come pick it up now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'm
she's
not
like,
going to
"Well,
miss it.
more than what is advertised for." No worries.
Yeah, yeah, sweet, man. Here you go. But it's interesting. You've got to be a bit careful as well because sometimes you tip those people off like that, and they go, "Oh
Oh,
yeah,
sorry, it's sold.
no, or yeah, either
Sorry,
that
it's
or they,
sold, and then 3 weeks later, oh look, it's back on the market again.
oh, it's back on the market. Oh, another person. Oh, another sale fell through,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it's on like triple the price, and they're like, oh, okay, they finally figured it out.
To be honest, I did the same with some life jackets. I had some life jackets lying around that I hadn't used for a while, and they were like the ones where you plug the canister in, and they're like about 10-year-old looking. I was like, I'll put $5 on them, and then I had about 40 people messaging me. I said, "Oh no, sorry, they're sold." So then I sat on them for a month, and then I put them back up for $20 each.
And you managed to get your $20.
Yeah, meant $20. I had three of them. I got $60. No worries. I was like, oh,
Why not?
next time I might sell myself short.
Actually, that reminds me, I'm going to put my old S10 up for sale.
Yeah.
On marketplace, but also it's a great place. Look, it's a decent place to sell. I've sold a few PCs on there.
Yeah.
So far I haven't had any dramas. I mean, I've heard some horror stories, obviously, about people being ripped off or.
I've heard a lot lately. I've seen a lot of posts on marketplace, even with like car vinyling, car painting, like people trying to get parts painted and they've found someone on marketplace and then he's done like a dodgy job, or they've got the car vinyl and it's done a dodgy job. They've had to rip it off, and then once the place ripped it off, they found all the scratches where they used a box cutter to cut around the thing. And this guy's got a Mercedes C200 as well. So I think it's to fix the problem, and that costing them 10 grand to get a half price vinyl job done off someone on marketplace. Look,
Why? You know what?
you got a Mercedes, you're trying to save
No,
a
mate.
couple of grand.
I always say if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
Yeah,
You know, they always say you can have two or three things: fast, cheap, good.
yeah,
2 out of 3 you can have. Anything that's good and that's cheap
Isn't fast.
isn't going to be fast. But if you want it fast and you want it good, it's not going to be cheap. Simple as that. Yeah, it's as simple as that.
It's a pretty good logic though when you think about it.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of the greatest things. I use it very often when I say to people, like they whinge about pricing or stuff. I'm like, mate, these are the three things. You can have 2 out of 3. You can there's no such thing as having 3. You will never find anything that's good, cheap, and fast. Doesn't happen. Rare, extremely rare.
Yeah.
It's like if sometimes you might get lucky, but a lot of times no. And like I was saying, if you're paying cash as well, sort of make sure you're picking it up from someone's house.
Yeah.
Don't be meeting them at the server or the 7-Eleven or the train station
Yeah.
because
Or
if that part goes home and you like going or you also open your box, make sure you're getting what you're paying for, especially with graphics cards. I've heard a few people who've like just looked at the box and gone, oh yeah, and taken it home, haven't actually opened it up, and then it's meant to be a 2060, and all of a sudden they find this 1650 in there. And they're like, what the hell? And they're like, oh shit, I met this guy at the stake. Oh mate, I've just blown me dough.
Yeah.
And they paid like maybe $50 less or $100 less for this card. And there's a reason for it. It's because the guy's a scam. Guy or girl is a scammer.
Yeah.
Let's not be sexist. Men and women can be just as bad as each other on that front. Ask for
most of the time, just try and get it working, or try and see it working.
Yeah.
Like inspect it when you get there. I've had a few people like excuses. Oh, sorry, you can't look at it because of COVID. You're not allowed inside, and I don't have any PowerPoints outside. I was like, okay, then no thanks.
Yep.
I'm sure. Yeah, sure. Someone could, if they really wanted to sell a computer, they'd run an extension lead outside.
But not even that. Like, I'm seeing a lot of these posts will not post, and they're in Melbourne. I'm like, moron. What do you think? People are going to come to your house. Your sales opportunity becomes that big.
Yeah.
Because it's so narrow. Because you're looking at people within 5Ks of your area. Now we might have COVID restrictions lifted by the end of this week, but I still don't think it's going to be that much.
Yeah.
It's going to be still a scaling thing. It's not going to be like as you were, back to stage 1. No, they've still got cases coming in. I think they'll very much do 50% of people back at work,
but
25Ks and all that.
It could be like a thing like people have been hosed probably sending it. Maybe they've sent it with the PayPal thing, and then the people on PayPal say no, they never received it. And then you talk to the post office and they said, oh no, we left it at a safe place.
But this is where I always say to people as well, like depending on the value of the item. If you're sending a $20, if you're sending selling a $20 item, whatever, you just copy your $20 and just go, well, let karma take care of the rest.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about, like you said, a PC, don't be sending it like, oh, I'm going to send it through Aussie Post on the cheapest no tracking postage, and then when the person goes, I never got it, go, oh, no, I definitely sent it. Here's my receipt from Aussie Post. I definitely put it.
Australia Post says it's delivered, and they delivered an empty box.
Yeah. Well, that's there's no perfect solution though.
No. Well, there is COD, whereas they have to get the money when they pay for it. But then I think if it gets sent there, they don't pay for it. They send it back. You got to pay twice postage.
Yeah, that's again, like you said, it's risky because then it gets expensive.
Yeah.
And then you start messaging the person going, hey, what's the story? This got sent back. Oh, sorry, mate, I was in the toilet, Okay, I've got to pay for it to be posted again. Or do I repost it online? Oh, what happens if I don't get the same look, to me, Marketplace is one of those things that, look, it's like I said, I've been very fortunate. Like I because of that, hearing those experiences, I am almost on the verge of paranoid with it. I
Yeah.
will actually like take photos of stuff, like you know, it outside the envelope, in the box, and just showing it all packed and everything. So if it goes to like because a lot of the time I'll only accept PayPal, um, and if unless they want to pay cash and come to my house and pick it up, that's cool. But if it's like, um, I'm going to post it out to me. I think I've sold an iPad, I've sold iPhones before, and like I've done that, and I had through eBay and never had a problem. Like
Yeah.
it's tracked it and gotten their side for it, and I'm like, sweet, okay. And I haven't heard anything from the sellers, but to me, it's about but to protect myself, I do take a lot of photos before I send it. So if they go, oh, you never sent it, going, no, mate, it was sent. Here's photos of it being packed. Here's photos of it in the box. Here's photos of it with the sticker on it. There's your tracking number. Aussie Post says they deliver it. It's delivered, and saying the tricky part at the moment with I think a lot of it now is with COVID is they don't get anyone to sign for stuff. We get this a lot at the moment with
Yeah,
the industry
that
I'm in.
leaving it in a safe place at the front door.
Yeah, where someone comes along, picks it up, walks off with it, nothing you can do about it. I never got it. Oh, because the person, if they're smart, is going to go, I've got a camera here. It shows me that, someone's taken it. Go to the cops. Cops might or might not have any idea who this person is. Chances are they've probably, by the time I've discovered it, they've already moved it on.
Yep.
Cops might arrest them, but I'm never going to see my money. Hold on, I bought this through eBay. I paid through PayPal. Never got it. Unfortunately, that's people. Like, human beings will take the path of least resistance. Would I do that? No. Personally, I think that's a terrible thing to do. But I'm just thinking like a person who may not necessarily care. So, there is... Look, I think Marketplace is good if you're buying stuff like where you can pick it up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I bought a case, for example, and it's not always, you can't meet people in a car. I bought a case, and I met the guy in a McDonald's car park.
Yeah, but like a case you can inspect it on site.
You look at it and you go, okay, well, what's the worst thing will not work? One of the buttons at the front, and then usually I'm thinking you probably go to Cooler Master and say, hey, I've got this case, can I get this bit? Most times you'll probably find they'll be able to help you out.
Yeah.
But so, and the most important thing is, if it doesn't smell right, walk away.
Yeah.
There's always a deal to be had. Just walk away. Just move on to the next one. Don't. It's better to have gone, shit, I missed out on that, than go, shit,
I got hosed on that.
I got hosed on it, and I spent my money. I might as well go on casino and bet on black.
At least then you got a 50-50 chance of winning.
Exactly right, rather than 100% chance of losing. So, next topic is PC parts hunt. And I put this in fairly late today. And it actually comes off just some of the stuff I'm seeing on Marketplace, and what kind of triggered the thought process was I don't know whether you've seen the video by Brian from Tech City today. And he did this really good video where he was showing sellers, just some people, because obviously graphics cards are really hard to come by, really expensive, but there's still a market for people who want, like in Australia, a $500-600 used PC. But at the moment, it's very difficult to do. I mean, look, that's what Flippin' Spuds was meant to be, but it's all kind of on hold at the moment because.
Well, I'm looking now at an NVIDIA GTX 1050 Ti 4 gig is $300 secondhand on the Marketplace.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. Like,
but that's the bottom of the line probably graphics card at the moment.
Yeah. So what I'm seeing, like what he was showing, like I haven't seen this yet, thankfully, but he was showing people selling him with GD 710s and going gaming PC. and like showing them on eBay with, oh, it will play Fortnite, CS:GO, COD, Cyberpunk, and he's like, oh, let me tell you, I've tested these games, and I think he managed to get CS:GO to run at 30 frames per second on the lowest possible setting. He said COD wouldn't even load up. Like, it just gave him an error message saying, no, DX12 GPU detected, so it wouldn't even load. Um, Fortnite, he said, was like almost like a slideshow. And I think he did Formula One 2020, and he was saying he's coming with, oh, he goes, sometimes I was thinking like Daniel Ricciardo was teleporting in front of me.
It's flashing up everything.
He's like, right, where's he come? Yeah. So yeah, it was. Yeah. So my advice to people out there is, look, if you don't know, ask. I mean, reach out to Eggy and I. We'll tell you, hey, no, don't, no, or hell, shit, that's a great bargain. Yeah, grab it. Go for it. And that's the concern I have is this graphics card at the moment. Just don't kid yourself. Right now, if you don't have a graphics card, just don't get a PC. Just hold back. Just wait. Yeah, it's not a necessity. It's not. You're not going to starve. You're not going to die of dehydration. It's a hobby thing. So yeah, I mean, and you and I find it frustrating, don't we? I mean, we want to do the flipping spuds and
Yeah,
get a
we
couple
want
of
to,
videos up and stuff,
but it's like sooner or later the market's going to crash, and it feels scary trying to buy graphics cards at these prices, and then you put the computer together, and then you find the graphics cards have died down, and you're going to get half as much for the PC.
yeah, and you start making losses.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's my biggest thing is I'm just like 3 months ago, if we got in, we probably could have made some money because, and even if our PCs didn't sell for much, we would have made some money. But if we, like, I mean, simply if we just bought, left, right, and center, like when 3080s launched, for instance, if I had bought like a bunch of 2080 Ti's at like $700-800 each,
yep,
or even $1,000 each, I would still be today. I'd be making money on them.
yep.
But you know, you can't.
You
That's the
can't
thing.
you can't predict. Yeah, it's like the housing market. You can't predict that the house is going to go up 200,000 over a year and a half, or
Yeah,
probably not even probably 6 months. Actually, they're going up 100,000 in most areas.
yeah. Or is it suddenly, is this like this hyperbolic thing where they're going to go up, 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 and all of a sudden, bang, the
Yeah,
bubble bursts, and
and they
all
drop
of us.
50%, and
Yeah,
then
I mean, I don't think housing will do that in Australia, but I think certainly something like graphics cards or used parts. Um,
well, I'm wondering where the housing's going because was it a 4 bedroom house on 450 square meters is about 750,000 these days in Cranbourne South and Clyde and
yeah, yeah. Whereas 5 years ago you couldn't give them away.
that.
It was like, Clyde, why the hell would I want to live out all the way out there? And now it's like, oh shit, well, that's what I can afford. All the farmers are making the money.
Yeah, selling off at 100K an acre or something like that. And they're selling probably.
Well, what a lot of these developers did, because they're shifty, like it even happened to my father-in-law. He had a farm, and it was only about, I think, just shy of 10 acres.
Yeah,
And the developer kept it for 5 years after he bought it. And I think it was around that time where they suddenly, the banks like massively yoinked back on investment loans. And like, unless you had some real equity in your house, they weren't giving you money. Like, they got really strict really quick.
yeah,
And so I think the developer was struggling to get funds for it. But then after a while, he subdivided it. But it's 5 years, and you probably would have made money on it.
yeah,
But he paid my father-in-law out. But what they wanted, some of them, what they do is, so my uncle's got about 30, 40 acres out at Melbourne.
Yep.
So what he does is all the time he'll get a developer going, oh mate, we'd love to buy your land, we'll give you we'll give you 50 million, for it, but in 10 years. My uncle just looks at him and goes, do I look stupid to you? No. Come back when you've got that money in
Yep.
your hand. If you had it today, I might consider it.
Well, they're going gangbusters in Melbourne. I've done a bit of work out there.
Oh yeah, like he's
Rockbank Mountain, Bacchus Marsh,
well, the thing is he's actually on the um closer end towards like
Taylor's Lake.
lakes.
Yep.
Then he's not like he's on Mount Cottrell Road, and
Yep.
on one side it's already, I think, started to sell, so he's not. I reckon if it keeps going the way he is, I reckon like at some point in the next 5 or 10 years he'll end up selling it for some massive amount of money.
But can't the government step into and make you sell it as well? Because the population increases
Yeah,
that.
I think there are circumstances where they can do that, but the thing is, he won't hold on to it for the sake of holding on to it.
Yeah.
If someone offered him enough, well, if a developer walked up to him and said today, hey, 120-day settlement, I'll give you $50 million for the land, mate, he'd be going, mate, I'll move out tomorrow. Like, you won't care. Like, that's the sort of money that you just go, oh shit, I'll just go buy a house. And like my auntie hates it out there because it is rural, and like it's a real bumpkin. Like you build a brand new home on that too. So the
Yeah.
house is only, it's probably about 20 years old. Beautiful home, but yeah, like progress is going to at some point take over.
Yeah.
Where he is. Just keep in mind, yeah. The other thing for people to just keep in mind is not all GPUs can game.
That's true.
Just because you go, oh yeah, it's got 2 gig of RAM. Oh, must be able to game. Come on.
That's like one of the graphics cards I found in the in the box. I had a box that I put away for ages. It was just all spare parts, and then I was like, oh, have a look in there. It's just the sound blast is not terrible. Like the sound card is not terrible. Like I think it's like a media center or something like that. But then I found this graphics card. Oh, look at this! It's a 1 gigabyte. And I was like looking at it. I was like, oh yeah. No. Check out the benchmarks for that, and it was like 0.03 or no, it was 0.3% of the benchmark. I was like, wow. I don't think they could play any games.
No, well, yeah.
I think using the integrated graphics on an i7 2600 would be better than using that thing.
Well, I had Gabe's Potato had a really like I had this, and I'm spewing, I threw it out. I should have actually kept it because it was the old school cards where they used to put the photos on them.
Yep.
Like these cool photos of these cool like comic type characters. So I'm a little bit. I regret that I threw it out. I regret that I threw that card out. I should have, because I just thought, oh, it's just e-waste. But I've done that a couple of times now, and I'm starting to now go, I really shouldn't have. Like there's a couple of times where I've thrown, like I think I sold you some like a CPU cooler and stuff. And I've decided, I'm like, I really need to have a spare power supply and a spare cooler. So I think the next thing I might do is actually buy a cheap modular power supply. And like, I mean, I've got one, but just I'd put that, in a gaming PC and sell it to someone. But if I could get a GPU, I'd be ready to rock and roll.
Yep.
Oh, actually, that DDR3 RAM, I'm going to have a chat to you after the show about that.
Okay.
I do want to grab a stick off you.
Yep. That's too easy.
Yeah.
And plus, I've probably still got some of your coolers there. I've still got that big quiet one. I was thinking about putting it on because it'll really aesthetically please my computer out. But I don't know if the fans fit on it because they've got a different setup. But I still got this one. If you need that one, I don't know if you wanted that one.
Oh man.
We'll talk about it after the show anyway.
Yeah, we'll talk about after the show because I actually wouldn't mind that one back because it was a good cooler. And I'm like, yeah, I should have, like put that other one on the, that one. Because, yeah, we'll have a chat about that. Now, next one is Amazon bargains.
bargains of the week. Well, can you buy? Can you buy them at the moment? If Amazon Web Services down.
No. I was on there. Their website's up.
That's right. Twitch is back up now. I just refreshed it. Twitch is back up.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Oh, yeah, there'll be some heads rolling over that one.
Mm.
But yeah, no. Amazon bargains. So that 360 millimeter AIO cooler is $158.80. Run, people. That is amazing value for a not a. It's okay. It's an amazing cooler. Like this is like you're talking the creme de la creme. The only thing missing from it is obviously RGB fans, but ain't gonna cool better. Those fans will cool just as good as non-RGB ones. So especially if you're looking for a blacked out cooler setup, like a blacked out PC setup, it's definitely like it's just such good value, such good value that I cannot emphasize enough how much to people go, mate. If you need a cooler, especially maybe I don't know if any of our friends are watching you or looking to update, build PCs and stuff, mate, go and grab this. It's not like it's gonna, go off. Like this is something you could buy now cheap, keep it for a couple of weeks, like a couple of months even, and it wouldn't matter. Let it sit in the box and then go right. It's ready to rock and roll, and off you go. Obviously, you'd open it up when you got it just to make sure it's, there's nothing broken or missing in it.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, this is one of those things that you could definitely buy for now until GPU prices come good. The next one that we've got here is the Cooler Master H500M. I so want this case. It's only $10 more than the cheapest I ever saw it before I didn't buy one.
Oh, that's not bad though.
Yeah, so I know people will be going, "Oh, Dean, it's $278, man, for a case." But we're talking about a case that's got 4 glass panels. It's premium quality. I've got a H500 mesh case. I love that case. It's massive. It's big. But it's one of the few cases, even when you start talking about the high-end Corsair cases, that actually takes a 360mm all-in-one cooler in the top of the case.
That's a long case.
Yeah, it's a long case, but it's good. And it's got very good routing, very good covers, like for cable management and all that. I love the case. Like I think it's fantastic. And then you add on to that it's got, you can have a mesh front or a glass front, and you get both panels. So you can interchange them. So it's not, oh, do I buy the mesh one or the glass? It's like, no, you choose. Here's both. You put whichever front you want. And I know I saw some reviews on it saying, look, it's an older case. There's no doubt it's a couple of years old, this design. And there's stuff that's more, like, I mean, I love my Land Cool too, don't get me wrong. But, and there's other cases out there that are good and probably better from a cooling perspective, like the Meshify C and all that. But very few of them will give you the ability to have 360mm radiator on top, mesh all glass front, and still maintain really good cooling temps. Have 4 glass panels. So just be warned, once you fill this thing, it's going to weigh a freaking ton. But because I know with my one, even with not that much glass on it, let me tell you, it's heavy. With the 3080 Ti alone has some weight to it. So, and then you put in a 1200 watt power supply, and it all gets heavier and heavier. So if you're looking for a premium case, you're looking to build it, mate. If not, get the H500 P mesh version of the case. That is selling at the moment for $199, and that's only $10 more than pre-COVID price for that case. So that, I can tell you from personal experience, is a very nice case to work in. Very easy, lots of room, nice shroud on a glass at the side of it to show off. It even has, sort of vertical mounting GPU bracket built into the case, which I don't necessarily think you would use. obviously, just because of it just sits a little bit too close to the glass.
Yeah.
To allow good breathing, and 3080 Ti's don't fit in there. But anyway, so and next one is keyboard bonanza.
You'll have to send me all these links.
Oh, brother, let me just regale you with a whole bunch of these. What was that one? That was. Here we go. Whoop. I will send it to you, but I'm going to have to send it, I think, in. I wonder if it'll work in here. No. Anyway, I've sent it through to you. Yeah, that should work. Next one, keyboard bonanza. Some great keyboards at the moment. Going really cheap. So I don't know whether your kids need some keyboards.
Yep.
Because you're like, these ones are pretty manky and
They are a little manky.
yeah,
And crap.
Yep. Kingston Hyper X Alloy Core RGB membrane keyboard. They've got them for $69 at Centacom.
Nice.
Into financial year sale. Logitech 213 keyboard, also at Centacom, and that. What was that? That was. I don't know what that was. Let me go and have a look. That was $79. That one. That's also a membrane keyboard. Then you have the Gigabyte mechanical keyboard, which is an Aorus K1, and that's $89 as well.
Yep.
So that's, and it's they're red switches. So I'm not sure what red switches are. I think they're a bit noisy. Red switches. Let's have a look. Cherry red, the fastest gaming switch. There you go. So look, that's still, it's not going to be the best keyboard in the world. It's not going to be a Huntsman or whatever, like top of the range Corsair ones. But hey, it's good value. And the last one is the Asus Tough K1 RGB keyboard membrane, $49.50 on Amazon. I'm actually going to grab one for Gabe. His keyboard, his W key's not working. It's $50.
Yep.
I'll just he's got this. Yeah, it's one that I'll probably end up taking back to our mates at MSY. I've bought a couple of those Armageddon ones and stuff.
Yep.
Just every time there's something goes wrong with them. Something
Yep.
stops working. And yeah, they're just really not. And like I remember, I think I paid like $79 for the keyboard, the mouse, and the
Headset and that, like the five piece combo on that. You get
yeah. It's like the headset seems to be all right. He hasn't whinged about that, so you can keep that. And the mouse, he seems to be all right with the mouse. The mouse seems to work okay.
What sort of games does he play?
He's playing Roblox. He's playing got a whole bunch of stuff. There was another one with horse riding. He was into and quite enjoyed. So I'm like, okay.
And does he play with friends and talk to them online? And
yeah, flat.
how does he usually do Roblox online? So I know Ava at the moment's doing it with Facebook, Kids Messenger. I've got that downloaded on Wii, but it seems a little bit buggy, but it's not too bad.
No, he'll go on his PC and then he'll have his his iPad or something going on Messenger.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what she does as well, yeah.
Yeah. So he'll be on the PC and he's been like last 2 days he's smashed screen time, and I'm like, I've got work to do. Like my wife's the same. Like we've got tomorrow's going to be interesting. Tomorrow I get to be in the same room as him. That will be very interesting. The good thing is, I bought my wife ages ago when she was at the hospital. She had a HP laptop, and I bought this, HP dock, like a where you could plug in the HDMI cables for two monitors, and it had two display ports and a HDMI and USB ports and everything. And I only paid, I think it was on special. It was like $129.
Yeah.
Do you think they still sell them?
No.
No. Is it freaking amazing? Oh hell yeah! Like, why do you assholes still not make this? Like, I've got one of these other ones that they've got their whiz bang. They're like $230, $240 brand new. Not flash.
No.
But, like I just plug my USB-C cable into my laptop, my charger into the other end too, and mate, she's got wireless keyboard and mouse, and I'll just use it all. I'm like,
It's good that they got video out on most laptops on the USB-C.
yeah, it's awesome. It is very good.
Because they usually only have the one HDMI thing, but then they got the two USB-C. That's not over my sister-in-law's PC. Her laptop. She needed some stuff for it.
Plug it.
Too dark.
No,
There it is.
there it is. I'll take the background off. Virtual background. Where are we? And we'll go. Virtual background. How do I turn it off?
You're none.
Oh, that's how I turn it off. There you go. So, put that over there. So that's my laptop.
Yep.
That's 17-inch. Thing weighs a freaking metric ton. But I got sick of it. I whinged enough at our IT guys that the thing was, my other laptop was just stupid slow, and yeah, I wasn't happy with it, and didn't have enough RAM. And this thing, man, you just, like, it does everything I want it to do. Whereas the other one, if it got hot, it was like, do I want to do something now? I'll think about it. Maybe, possibly. Could I? Maybe. No. I'll just crash in the middle. Oh, so yeah, so my boss kind of went to IT and was very nice and said, "Listen, we kind of want to reward him. Can we please give him? He's been kind of doing it tough. We'll just give him one." And they're like, "Yeah, we've got a spare." Actually, it was when one of our sister companies merged with another company, so they had some spare laptops, a whole bunch of spare laptops that came back. So they're like, "Oh yeah, you can have one of them." I'm like, "Sweet, thank you." So yeah, it works much better. Pain in the ass to carry because it's massive.
Yep.
But much better. And the last bargain of the day is on Amazon. They've got $310.16, a 2 terabyte NVMe drive,
Oh.
a P2. So the P1's the slightly lower standard, but the P2 is that little bit up. It's 3D NAND, NVMe, proper NVMe, like Chi Buena. She got fast. She got brrr.
I'm sneezing a lot tonight. Luckily, I found the mute button on the Zoom call instead of just muting it on the street.
Nah, it's all good, mate. It's all good. Don't worry, mate. Once I get the sneezes going, it does not stop. So at least you can stop yourself. But anyway, so that's enough of Amazon bargains. We'll move on to our next topic, which is Game of the Week.
And what game would that be?
I've been playing a bit of Cyberpunk.
Oh, nice. I'm going to be honest. I've been playing a bit of Roblox tonight. Bit of Adopt Me with the girls. Well, we ended up getting rained off today, so I ended up staying home and doing the girls' schooling and that. So that was a bit of fun. And then we had Ava's iPad glitch out because it's a bit old. But she might be getting a new one soon. I'll just say that a bit quietly so she doesn't hear, just in case she's listening. So birthday's coming up next weekend.
Oh,
So
that'd be good.
yeah, so she'll enjoy that. So hopefully they'll stop bugging out and crashing.
Yeah, look, they do get to the point where they start showing the age of the old iPads.
Yeah.
Actually, my one's doing it at the moment. Every time I'm on market, especially on marketplace, it just kicks me out
Yeah.
to
That's
get them.
because she's got the Wii. I don't know, the Weebix. No, it's not Weebix or Weenet, something or other, where they do their. It's like Zoom, but it's called Wii something. And then she had Seesaw open, and then she had to do some other assessment thing open. And as soon as that is, it just crashed. And then like you try to go back into Weebix or Weebet, and then it open up some other different app, and then click it back on the Seesaw, and YouTube would open up, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, okay. Because I was going to say, she can't do it on a desktop.
She probably could. It's just she didn't have the camera. I think they needed the camera. She didn't have the camera on the desktop, so she just used the iPad. So then, yeah, we're running around trying to get the computer up and going by then.
Hey, just jump on marketplace. I've seen some cameras pretty cheap.
Yeah, I could have just gave her mine, but I don't think because my wife doesn't know how to set it up, and because she was the one that was home for homeschooling, so she was.
Oh, mate, I can tell you now. Like Gabe, like I bought Gabe like a cheap $20 used one from a lady last
Yeah.
COVID lockdown, and just in the back of it, and just mate, if it's like what do they use? Google Meets.
Yeah.
The computer just picks it up, and then it'll just use it as the main. And you just got to make sure that the camera's set up. But yeah, trust me, man, it's a lot easier on their PC
That's what I thought. Yeah,
because
and runs a lot better. Yeah.
oh yeah, a lot smoother, a lot quicker. Whereas like the iPad and I didn't charge it up last night.
Yeah.
Really easy to get distracted.
Or they sit there watching TikTok or YouTube on it, and runs it dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't worry, Gabe. Like Gabe always look at this cool video, Dad. I've really got to get him his own like YouTube account and just put him add him to the family plan because I'm really worried. Like because I've got a pretty open. I mean, YouTube's like pretty strict about what they put on there.
Yeah.
But still, there's stuff that's not age appropriate for you.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think that there is YouTube Kids, but even that's still pretty limited to what they can watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I've been playing some Cyberpunk, and tell you what, the good thing is, it's when I first got it, it was just so buggy,
Yeah.
just terrible. It's very good now. Like I don't get game crashes. I don't. Unlike another piece of crap game that I'm about to just uninstall it because I uninstalled like Modern Warfare the other day. I uninstalled it, reinstalled it. Made no difference. Graphics still look crap in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Why? Like, I don't get it. Like, it's. But then you go into into Cold War, and it's like really crisp. And I'm like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm like, so why is that? But then I can't play Cold War. Like, it still crashes.
Yeah.
Even after the latest update, I was like, I'm done. I've moved on from those games. Like, thankfully, I got them. Like, COD, I'm kind of spewing. Cold War, I'm kind of spewing because I did pay for it and then I got a free copy of it, which I wouldn't give it away to anyone anyway. To be honest, like just piece of shit. That game. But yeah, Cyberpunk. The story's pretty good. Like and interesting. Yeah, Keanu Reeves acting is I guess he's got the source material.
Yeah.
But yeah, a really good game if you've got. But the thing is, you've got to have the PC to run it. That's the biggest drama. And the graphics card. It is the crisis of our generation. Can I run Cyberpunk, my friend? I mean, and it's really interesting. Like, I don't have it cranked all the way up, but I'm still only like 70, 80 frames per second. That's what I had after being going off on the side on my second screen, and I was shocked. I was like, wow, this thing is really intense. Like, it doesn't muck around.
Yeah.
What about yourself, mate? What have you been playing?
Well, I played Roblox and then tried a little bit about Battlefield 5. I've downloaded a heap of games like NBA and Need for Speed, and I just haven't had the chance to play them. And I like the multiplayer games where you sort of get on with your mates and have a laugh and that. I was sort of spewing that we couldn't get Cold War to work, and then I didn't have Modern Warfare fully downloaded. So hopefully that's all ready to go now. So we'll be able to get some games of that in.
Yeah, Modern Warfare I should be able to play.
Yeah.
And yeah, Battlefield 5's now downloaded, so I downloaded
Just
the other night.
yeah, I just need those FPS games because sometimes you just want to kill someone.
Yeah, like I just want to blow shit up. I just
Yeah.
want to blow shit up. You people give me the shits. I'm just gonna blow shit up. You know, it's great fun. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But mate, I think where are we at the moment? Now final topic is crypto news, my friend.
Well, crypto news. I'm probably the expert on crypto at the moment.
You are, my friend. So I am gonna leave it all to you.
Well,
What's the latest?
in May we had a bit of a dip because Elon said he had his hate for, well, not his hate for Bitcoin, but his because of the not being able to, it's not using like there's so much power usage for mining Bitcoin. And then today we had Donald Trump come out and saying something about the regulatory issues that they should be very high, like regulated, and that's sending the market crash at 15% across the board. It was just starting to pick up last week from that May dip, and then we made probably about 20 to 30% gains, and then over the weekend it sort of drops every weekend to 5 to 10%, and then today being Monday in the USA, and that has just crashed another 15, so we're probably down 20 to 25%. So it's not looking too good at the moment. And
All right, okay, and that's what on the back of Donald Trump saying, look, this needs to be regulated a lot better than what it is.
yes, pretty much that's what started. Oh, and plus a lot of Bitcoin miners have sold 5,000 coins over the last week. So I'm guessing maybe they're seeing that it's the bull market's coming to an end, so they're taking a bit of profits before it keeps going down.
So this will be the period where people just getting in are going to get burned.
Yeah, but
But the
even
people
then,
who've been there for long term are going to go, right, time to get my cash in my profits.
yeah, or cash in some profits, or keep some coins, or
Yeah,
some people might even cash out now and then hold out till it dips even more in a year's time or something, and then buy it back. Or who knows? But like, I think for this bull market, I think most of the profits been made, and you got to try and find those stable coins, the ones that have been around a long time, that are going to continue to go around. Because it's a lot of these, like Shiba Inu or F Elon, Elongate, and there's a few other Doge Elon and stuff like that. I think some of them they're all going to die in the ass. I think they're just around for the bull run to make a bit of money, and then they're going to sell out, and then the coins won't exist over the next 4 years, and then they might pop back up again once the bull market comes back.
So, do you think things like Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that are they here to stay?
I think Ethereum's here to stay. I think Dogecoin will probably be here to stay because it come around during the first during the last bull market or the bull run, and it lasted those 4 years, 4 years, or yeah, 4 years between the halvings in the bear market where they don't make a lot of money, and then yeah, survived to make this one and make a bit. But I think Dogecoin's got a lot of celebrity backing, sort of thing, like with Elon, and plus I think the Dallas Mavericks, you can use them to buy like merch and buy tickets, game tickets and stuff like that. So I think it's highly regarded in like the content creation sort of scene. Whereas a lot of these other meme coins are I think they're sort of being funded. Like people are paying the TikTokers and that to promote them. And then you sort of see them perk up for a week, and then they sort of die off. They get sold out.
Yeah. So because it was really interesting, one of the articles I was reading on the whole phenomenon is this. There was this discussion around that a lot of these, like your crypto wallet, no one can see what's going on in it. It's very secretive. It's a good way to hide money. And now though, I think the Australian government has come out. The ATO came out and said, "Yeah, hate to tell you, mate, but we can see what goes in and what comes out.
Yeah.
So we know what we got to tax you.
Yeah.
So you better make sure you're in this, you're making money out of Bitcoin. make sure you're declaring it. And it was
Yeah.
funny because there was a bit of a bull run on a couple of those private coins or alleged private coins where they were completely hush hush and secret. And I think the ATO even like went, no, they're not. Like, if you want to lose your money, put them in there. But yeah,
Yeah.
cool. But I always say, anytime something's that secretive, it just leaves it wide open for people to just get absolutely hosed.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I can invest in a bank in Greece and get 85% interest. Sure, if you don't mind, con the fruiter, I go, see you in a couple of days, mate. And
Yeah.
off to
Well,
off he goes to the Cayman Islands there and
I
good luck
think
in trying to get your money back.
I think that one of the biggest exchanges in Turkey had that happen, whereas it just sort of shut down overnight, and the owner ran off to somewhere and took everyone's money.
Oh, mate, look, and let's not kid ourselves. It doesn't only happen in like these like Turkey or Greece or. I mean, Bernie Madoff was the golden. Yeah, I think I'm sure it's Bernie Madoff. Let me go and have a look here. Bernie. Yeah, there he is. Bernie Madoff. Yeah. 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 You know, he ran the world's biggest Ponzi scheme. You know, made off with trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know, and the only reason he got caught out was because he was doing it from rich people. You know, he's 82, he's in prison, he's never. You know, I mean, he was the chairman of the NASDAQ. Now, for those of you who don't know what the NASDAQ is, the NASDAQ is basically the New York Stock Exchange. So he was the chairman of it, and he was running a Ponzi scheme. When other people go, this is not right. We shall destroy this Bitcoin business because they're not doing it for us.
No.
They're doing it because rich people are having a punch on, like Apple and Epic, or
Yeah.
at the moment. It's just
Well,
rich people,
yeah.
sort out their differences.
I think it's done and dusted, isn't it? I think it's just Fortnite's no longer on Apple. I think it is.
No, it's still in court. Oh no, it's still well and truly in court in the US. Because I think they had Tim Cook and I think had a couple of people come up and testify, some high profile people. I think Tim Cook from Apple, and I think there's some people from Microsoft come out. Some fairly high up people in Microsoft come out swinging as well, like were called up as witnesses, and it was interesting. Like some of the stuff apparently that came out. There's a guy called Hoag's Law that does a lot of coverage of it, and he's actually quite good. Very sharp legal mind and knows what he's really talking about, and like I listen to his podcast once in a while because just very switch on. Like he's on YouTube, but it's all podcasty type talks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. Like he even covered like the whole Doctor Disrespect thing, which I heard. I thought I saw something online saying he's back on Twitch.
I'm not sure. I think he was back on Twitch maybe 6 months ago, and I'm not sure if he still is on Twitch.
Nah, I think they definitely, because didn't they? There was a big brouhaha only like a month or two ago about him. Streamers being told they're not allowed to have Doc on their team.
Well, his channel's still there, Doctor Disrespect.
No, that can't be the legit one though.
No, it's probably not. It's only 45 in.
No.
Oh no, it's Doctor Dip Respect.
Yeah. There's a guy I know who parodies him and I'm pretty sure he's on Twitch. So let's go and browse. Search Doctor Dis. know, Doctor Disrespect.
What are your thoughts on Fortnite? I was doing some tests on the other PC. I'm like, oh, I could give this game another go.
The whole, let me tell you, the whole thing with just the building gets me. That's what
yeah.
makes me just go, no. There's too many things happening at once for me to consider doing it. Like, it's just, oh, man, it just hurts my brain thinking about it, Iggy.
Yeah.
Hurts my brain just
It's,
thinking about it.
it's hard enough just trying to shoot people, let alone build edit
Oh
walls
yeah.
while you're having a gunfight.
Oh, exactly, 100%, 100%. You know, that's the thing with me. That's what
Yeah,
just
yeah.
makes me. You know, it's really hard to like. I just like. Yeah, I'm not good at multitasking in a game. Like, I'm good at like
Thinking about things and working things
yeah,
out.
like
Yep.
going, okay, if I go this way, okay. Like, I don't mind getting into gunfights. Like, I don't mind like COD and that because it's a gunfight. But whereas what I do mind is something like Fortnite because it's just so complicated and you need so many buttons. That's why I never got into like League of Legends and
Yeah.
those MMO games because they were just there's so much, like even Skyrim. You know, I'll learn a spell and the only game I think I really liked that was kind of like that was Dragon Age. But I've got that on PC, but I'm like, I really need a controller for that. Like, it's
Yeah.
just too hard on keyboard and mouse. It's just too hard. It's too many buttons to press and too many buttons to remember. Whereas keyboard and mouse, you know, you develop that muscle memory, and off you go. And that's what I mean. Even on PCs, like I saw someone post the other day, oh, who plays with controller on PC?
I do.
Like,
I do.
I don't know, Nick Merckx, Doctor Disrespect, Xander, like some guys who are just like god level good.
Yep.
The only one that's probably left that's still not doing it that way is Tim the Tapman, and probably Shroud, Choco Taco, Doctor Lupo. I think. Oh, actually,
Yep.
I'm not sure if Doctor Lupo plays on control or not, but you know.
No, I think he's definitely keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, he'd
Deliver.
be old. Yeah, he'd be
Yeah.
old school.
I think, but a lot of the Call of Duty pros probably still play on controller because it was up until last like this year was the first one on PC. Up until last year, it was always on PlayStation. The Call of Duty League. So they would have.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Because PlayStation was a big sponsor of the Call of Duty League until this year is when they moved to PC.
That's interesting. That does explain why they've been so reluctant with aim assist and removing it.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense because that to me makes sense of why they haven't done it because, you know, do you want to upset PlayStation? You want to
Yep.
upset Sony?
Yep.
But yeah, I think really the future is going to be of something like COD is going to be PC related. Although,
Yep.
do you feel like some of those battle royales games though are starting to lose their lust, like their appeal?
I'm not sure. Like Fortnite was the biggest one, and then since Warzone come out, Warzone is probably the biggest one now, and that's still going pretty strong. I think as an esports point of view, I don't think it's that good, but I think as an entertainment point of view, it's good to watch because they're probably at the highest stream numbers besides League of Legends, but like for the
That's the
single
other
player.
one I don't get is League of Legends. Like, I just don't get what the appeal is to it.
Yeah.
It's not like you run that on a potato.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the appeal. That's why it probably has so many players on it. But
And then I think because because Call of Duty bring out a different game every year, so I think that they're trying to. I don't know. It's a bit harder to I don't know what it is, but like say those older games like CS:GO and that some of them like some of those games have been around like almost 10 years. So I think they've sort of built a like the esports sort of things around it. They sort of build it going around it, so it's sort of getting bigger and bigger every year.
Well, Overwatch is still massive.
Yeah,
Like you got
and
Overwatch,
then
and you've got
League of Legends. I think they're the biggest ones. League of Legends, Overwatch. What's that other one?
yeah,
Dota.
Dota, yeah, CS:GO.
Yep.
Like you said, and CS:GO has gone through many iterations, but it still plays on a potato, which is what I think appeals to people. Like I remember even playing it on Gabe's Potato PC Go. I don't think, yeah, it's mechanically, it's nowhere near as good as COD, and I
Yep.
think that's what people are looking for is going because when I play Modern Warfare, I like the mechanics, the way the game runs.
Yep.
That's what appeals to me. Cold War does nothing. Like I was noticing the other day when I was playing, because I could only do bots. When you were sliding, it was like you're breakdancing.
Yeah.
Like you could literally change direction while you were in the middle of a slide and shoot it. Like I'm sure you can't do that in Warfare.
No,
Like
no, you can't.
it
Like
cancels animation.
yeah, there's no slide canceling in Modern Warfare. So I listen to the Optic podcasts and stuff like that all the time, and they always talking about it. Like the pros last year, they could play Modern Warfare and Warzone because they're the same mechanics. But then they say that this year we can't play Warzone because it's a totally different game. Like we're trained. This is how we make our money is by playing Cold War. We can't go back and play Warzone because it's just the mechanics are just totally different.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like yeah,
Which is a shame because Cold War's not the game
you
that
know,
people want. But they've just, and it just really surprises me how Activision hasn't gone. You know what? No, Cold War's just not working. People are constantly telling us how good how much better the mechanics are in Modern Warfare. Okay, we're going to keep those mechanics. Okay, who's that? We'll just have to bring out a Cold War 2.
yeah.
And just
But then I think as making all these Call of Duties, every year there's a different one. I think it sort of loses the nostalgia. Like yeah, they get the old maps and that, but people that used to play Call of Duty back in the day probably don't watch it now. Whereas like people playing League of Legends back in the day, like still watch the competitions because they liked it back then, and it's still the same sort of game now.
yeah,
Whereas
the
like
mechanics are the same. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and a lot of people talk about like like Cold War, like Battlefield 3. I think
yeah,
was like the gold standard and like on online playing, and same with like they talk about Call of Duty. There was a Call of Duty that they said was really good too.
Ghosts. I had Ghosts. I didn't mind it, or
Ghost Recon was always very highly rated, but I don't think it was as good. Like the storyline, I think was pretty good, but yeah,
yeah,
it's I mean, I watched the whole video and the whole development of it and how I got to Modern Warfare and the development of that Captain Price character.
yeah,
And the different iterations and how he starts off actually not being the guy he is today. This super invincible looking guy who's, you know, and it was really interesting. Like they've done a good job of developing the story over the years. But the
yeah.
problem is that like Modern Warfare was just so much better mechanically, so much better mechanically.
But then Treyarch made Black Ops 4, and that wasn't a bad game. I didn't think. Where Blackout come out, Black Ops 4.
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing, and I think what it is as well. So these companies change designers, and like I said, there's this great. I'll have to find it and post a link on the Spuds account. But there was this great video about the mechanics of the game and how the guy said, "Oh, we want the player to feel like when they click that shotgun, it clicking a shotgun, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't feel that in Cold War. You just feel like you got this thing that sits there and it shoots. Anyway, brother. Anything else you want to talk about tonight? Because
No, that was it.
Run into 10 o'clock and
There we are. I'm looking at bedtimes thinking, fuck.
yeah, I was like, man, I've got it's bedtime. I want to get no. Getting old.
Yep. Me too.
All right. Well, everyone, I don't know whether we had anyone watching, mate, but it was good fun talking anyway.
It was good fun. Good fun every week having a chat, catching up.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Eventually, I'm sure some people will find us and think we're all right.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everyone.